Where do you think HIV came from?
I think it naturally occurred. I do not believe it was created by our government.
I do believe that it naturally occurred.
I believe that it probably was a genetic mutation of several different diseases.
Occurred by ignorance because nobody knows what the disease was about.
I think AIDS was brought over from monkeys carrying the disease, or really rabid English students when I was little. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think some research has proven that it came from a species of monkeys, and somehow it got over to the human population. So I'm not sure that's a conspiracy in any way.
I actually think it was created by an alien race meant to enslave us, and they're here for resources. But I don't think we have enough. I think they've left. They just kind of dropped off AIDS and kind of booked it. So that's why we don't really see them.
That's a lot to think about.
My personal feelings about HIV is that it is not created by the government. I think it was something that was created by a sinful act that occurred because of that.
From the information that I have heard, it was non-harmful in the chimpanzee in Africa.
I don't think it was just popped out of thin air. I think it was cultured in a lab, and then it was tested. It didn't originate in Africa, correct?
Correct.
Because I think it was used as a biological weapon at first, honestly, and then the virus, the more hosts it got, the more it mutated, and now it's just supposedly incurable. My bigger thing is I think there is a cure for it.
But it skipped species, and when it skipped species and it came to humans, it did become harmful.
If you find that's the problem with sending with cancer, any type of sickness that's chronic, the companies make a lot of money off of the disease.
In the text that I have read, they got it because they ate monkey brains. Have you heard this? Okay. And the men wanted their children and their wives to be really smart. So they would kill the little monkeys, and take them home and give the wives and children the brains to eat.
But say if there was an end-all cure, then it would be
Put them out of business.
Out of business. That'd be billions of dollars that they would lose. So I don't think there's ever going to be a cure for them. Maybe there will find more treatments, but I think there is a treatment out there, like a antivirus, for example.
Actually, I think it's supposed to have gotten transported over here by homosexual activity.
So you think it was cultured in a lab and that's how it was made?
Yes.
You don't think it came from chimpanzees in Africa?
I mean, it might have, but they were injected with it as test subjects. It wasn't like it just popped up, where their body just created that virus. It was injected. It was created. It's man-made. I guarantee you.
Or it could be heterosexual. Americans and the women of Africa.
Do you think there's a certain population that is targeted for HIV?
Well, people with low esteem, and they do terrible mistakes.
I have heard that people talk about that HIV or AIDS was government created, but I don't know. I haven't really followed up anything on that. What I do know is that there are a group of tribal people in Africa that would a lot of times eat monkey brains. And in that process of eating monkey brains while the monkeys were still alive, they would get that contamination spread across the blood barrier that way. And so we do know that HIV does exist within primate populations. So it also happens among the feline populations also, being tigers and lions. So as far as the government control, I don't know, I have heard about that, but I haven't gone into a lot of information in detail as far as that goes. But it wouldn't surprise me.
As far as whether it is designed by the government or a natural process, I think it's probably a natural-born disease. I would hate to think that our government would manufacture something like that.
It is naturally created, I guess you'd say, from
it's been a long time, because that's been 30-some years ago, by something that happened in Africa with, and I don't laugh, but there were different theories I know going around at that time about, what's a nice way to say this, even involved animals. I'm thinking specifically hyenas and humans. So I could be wrong, so don't you make a fool out of me, I mean it.
I think that it came from in Africa when they ate monkey parts. They ate monkey meat.
Monkey parts. What kind of parts?
Especially brains. Yeah, the brains.
Oh, and then we have
Do you
something
think
about hyenas.
the brains would make them smarter? That's when the Hayes told us they ate brains because they thought it would make them smarter. They fed it to their women and children.
It's considered a delicacy, right?
What are your thoughts?
I love your microphone. Thank you. It's so realistic.
Now? Okay, do you, Mr. Crotch, believe that HIV is...
Probably just didn't have enough.
I'm sorry.
HIV came first.
Okay, let me think about this. There's written material on this.
What's it stand for? What's the I stand? Immune. What is it?
No, you can do it. I want you to do it.
You said I had to, and then you're going to get the word.
We were rejected.
What?
Mr. Ferris hates us. It's human immunodeficiency virus.
Yeah, that virus, the human immunodeficiency virus. It's hard to say.
How do you think that,
I don't know whether you can publicize any of that information or not because of, I don't know how they're going to feel about homosexual activity.
Well, John, that's a very good question, and I just don't think I'm intelligent enough to. I think Coach Goforth is the man to ask, because I am just not intelligent enough to come up with a reasonable answer.
And that's all I have to say about that topic.